Hello everyone, this is Swati. Welcome all. Today we are going to discuss on Scrum Master approach and few interview questions along with answers. So we will focus first whether the question interviewer is asking what is his or her expectation and how should be your approach to deliver the value to your answer. So let's get started, guys. Okay, so let's take an example that a scrum team measure their velocity and the stakeholder is coming up to the scrum team and they are asking that they are unable to view their velocity. So in this scenario, eh, what will be your step? This is a question. So is this, when you are giving answer, so you should think that is this acceptable in Scrum? So uh, whether there is a possibility that this scenario can come up, yes, definitely, because the velocity is only used within the Scrum team, right? And when a stakeholder is unable to look into that, then they might come up that I'm not able to see what is it is going on. This means there is a lack of transparency, and the matrices, the velocity what you are tracking, that should has not been reflected to them. So in this scenario you should put a situation in front of your interviewer, asking the question like whether the stakeholder is expecting a particular scenario, or on a particular basis they want to have a look on that. What is the reason behind that? Whether most of the user story are keeping behind, or they want to keep a track in day-to-day activity. So when you understand this, then as per our Scrum practice, as per Agile practitioner, you should make them understand that this velocity is usually used within the Scrum team, and the velocity matrix is used internally by the Scrum team. Reason: the Scrum team is self-organized. They have taken the backlog to complete that and give that, and in a daily basis when they are interacting with the product owner, the stakeholder, client, they are giving their input, and they will provide uh, if there is any conflict or if there is any challenges, they will let them know, and in sprint review they will discuss the outcome. So we will have a track on sustainable pace. Okay, so overall we have to provide the approach that this is restricted within the Scrum team. Scrum team is self organized. You need to coach the stakeholder on a Scrum practice, and you have to inform them that this is using by internally. But if you are feeling that they are looking particular on something, so you should provide that data and you should provide them the approach that this is the scenario, and so that they should be in a comfortable zone, they should have that satisfaction. So when you are answering, you have to look into both the scenario, that in this situation, like as per your practice what you should do, and in this scenario that on what basis they are looking for it. Okay, so let's move to the next one. You have a scenario where a product owner is coming to the developer and asking that can we reduce our sprint from 3 week to 2 week. What what do you feel that this can be done, or this is right? What should be the answer? Again, it's a tricky question, so you should understand the situation when a product owner is coming to the team and asking then on what basis he is coming, right? So a team will discuss, or a scrum product owner will keep the thing in a transparent and inform that as per the our release, the team is not happy or client is not happy, because based on market release, based on market research, this will not make sense. So if we release on a 2 week, then only it will make sense. Then again what will happen, the sustainable pace will be there, but what will happen, the product owner and developer collaborate together, they will reprioritize that product backlog, do the changes on the scope, ensuring that your sprint goal is not in danger, right? And based on that, they will release the thing in 2 weeks. So this is your one step. The next is there any foundation that your sprint cannot be of different length? No, there is no foundation in a scrum. Your sprint can be of any length, right? It should be 1 month or less than that. And when multiple team are working, then they can, every team can have their stringent criteria. The sprint can go as per their sprint planning, and only the thing, the definition of done should integrate, should be same to the increment, that should be same, and dependency should not be there. So your approach should be like this when you are answering this kind of question. Okay, next is, let's take a scenario that a developer has decided that some of the product backlog item which they have pulled, those PPIs do not need that definition of done. Whatever the result they are expecting, means that is not required. Then in this scenario, what you are going to do as a Scrum Master? So first of all, you should understand why that person, that developer is thinking in this way. Is there anything, right, that there is any problem or conflict, that user story has not been understood properly, or there is a lack of transparency, or the user story should get broken down into a multiple chunks still, or that he should understand, that developer, and as a scrum master you should make them understand that if the definition of done is not respected, there is no transparency, and regarding that whatever work they are performing, so you should establish that scrum practice. And if they are not following on the quality standard that is defined in the definition of done, because this is the only short gain, and when if they will not follow that, they will increase the total cost of ownership, and it will take out the trust, and it will actually remove that predictability uh, there. So in nutshell, there will be a violation of scrum practice. So not following the definition of done may increase the total cost of ownership, and the it will actually, it should be taken care. So the definition of done should be set as a standard of organization, if not at a minimum level, then definitely by the team. So everyone should follow that thing, and as a scrum team they should give that definition of them, that is your potentially releasable and usable product. And the product owner will also ensure that there is a clarity and transparency on which the product backlog item the developers are working. If there is anything to discuss, he should or she should collaborate frequently to understand that and provide that support. Okay, next is, so what is the total cost of ownership? What do you understand by total cost of ownership? This question, this refer that your understanding about the answer you are providing on them, right? So the total cost of ownership refers to all direct and indirect cost of developing and maintaining a product. So to give software development as an example, the total cost of ownership may include the cost of developing the software, the cost of fixing the defect, that is the or bugs, and the cost of maintaining the software and making sure that it still works even if the product is no longer actively developed. So your total TCO, your total cost of ownership, is directly linked to the technical debt, right? So if there is any technical debt, then that will increase in the cost, and then you will be having a higher TCO. If you are not postponing and taking care of the technical debt and taking care on all the cost of development, testing, deployment, maintenance, then for the scrum perspective, the product owner is one that who will be interested in taking care of tracking of this TCO and how it involves throughout the project. Okay, next is, how often should a product owner be concerned with measuring the customer satisfaction? So in Agile and Scrum practices, this is one of the principle that the customer should satisfy and the value of the work should get increased. It is not only the based on revenue increase, but the credibility and the value of your product, your time to market, your relationship with the customer to get more deal with them, so that customer satisfaction is very important. Customer satisfaction is not only lies based on your uh, input, but based on your outcome, right? So there is a difference when you are providing any result. Sorry, that not input, that is output. When you are providing any result, that is your output, and when you are providing any output and customer is getting satisfied with that, that is your outcome. We take that outcome is a positive note. So how often should a product owner should concern with measuring of customer satisfaction? As often as possible. There is no indication in Scrum regarding this, that if this is the duration or in this event they should do. No, anytime team can collaborate and they can discuss, and product owner should do this action every time as often it's possible. Okay, next is, what is technical debt and how to deal with the technical debt? What do you understand? Okay, so technical debt is unresolved thing in past that will create the mess on today. If there is a developer who is not putting the comment properly in the code, or if someone is keeping the things incomplete, that will provide you that your work that has not been done properly, and it will uh, keep the team in a difficult situation, and that unresolved things, undone things will be your technical debt, which is also called code debt or design debt, because that is going to affect your quality of the product. So in a shorter time it can be managed, but on a longer run, when this will face again, that can become a big mess. So how you are going to deal with that? So it should not never be get postponed. Promptly we should act on that. We should collaborate. If you are getting any design debt, code debt, the development team should collaborate with the product owner to reduce the technical debt with every sprint. From where it is coming, why it is coming, is there any dependency on user story transparency or prioritization of the product backlog? In this scenario, the developer should collaborate with the product owner. If the task If the task is tackling the technical debt, that is a part of your not commenting the things, or if someone is keeping the things behind, any development team, means any of the person in the development team, then team is self organized, they are creative people, flexible people and productive people, so they will resolve with them. If there is required, they feel there is an impediment or any conflict is happening, so scrum team will take ownership to deal with them, but they can take a decision and they can take a help from the scrum master, right? So transparency and communication is the best medicine and solution to deal with this technical debt. And in your retrospective, your adaptation of definition of done, you are adapting your DoD can be helped to track these technical debt, and helpful if they are basis of tool, processes, individual, and that can be resolved. Okay. Next is functional and non-functional requirement. Is is it a responsibility for a product owner that uh, non-functional requirement will have a closer collaboration with the developer? So before I answer this thing, let's understand what is functional and non-functional requirement. So functional requirement, that you have your requirement basis on your product, basis on your application, you are creating your backlog is your functional requirement. Your non-functional requirement basis on the security, basis on the performance of the application, basing on the productivity of that application, how it is good, and that security thing will come on a non-functional requirement. So non-functional requirement should be a part of product backlog, right? So product owner should take care that it should be added in the product backlog. Also it should be added in your definition of done. So when it is there, your functional and non-functional requirement will be taken care by everyone. What do you mean by, next is, what do you mean by cone of uncertainty? Okay, so there was it can be also asked like, what do you feel by parabola diagram, right? So when a cone of uncertainty will come, it is a we can explain in a single cone. When a parabola diagram is come, it is same thing that can be explained in a two different way. So one is your technical environment, one is your business environment. So when you have a cone, when you sketch a cone, so the cone of uncertainty is, one side is technical environment, one side is business environment, and when technical and business value are constantly evolving at the start of the project, that is your, and comparatively in starting little things are known, right? In starting in complex problem in scrum, what happened, little things are known and more things are unknown. So in starting comparatively little things are known, and more the product will work, more the sprint will go, and the increment will come up, the result that uncertainty will get reduced, and that is your called cone of uncertainty. So as more is learned, uncertainty tends to decrease. Next is, what do you mean by feature team and the component team? What is the difference between feature team and component team? These are the direct question. So you can so in Scrum, what happened, like people concentrate. So let's understand what is feature team and component team. So all the layer of the application which is deal, that is your feature team. So in your feature team is cross functional and cross component, right? A person will be aware of all the layer, and one layer is a part of one product, right? So one layer, if multiple teams are working, right, so one layer is a part of one module, one product, and all team members should be aware of all the layer. Feature team is not mandatory in the Scrum, but actually they prefer that everyone should aware of all the layer. Component team, it's layer team also called, that working only on a single layer. So component team is expertise on particular component and in on single layer. So work on selected component is taken care by single person on a single component. What will happen if someone is working on component? Then that will increase the dependency, and it will reduce the uh, uh, increase the risk and reduce uh, uh, the dependent reduce the chances, right? So usually component team will take people in support kind of project, but in Scrum people will looking for the featured team. Okay, next is, so let's take an scenario based question. You have a Scrum team, and your client has come up and said that your Scrum team is failing again and again to achieve and complete all the user story in a particular sprint. So there in multiple sprint, they are unable to complete all the stories, and most of the story is getting transferred into the product backlog or the next sprint. So, what do you feel? There is a lack of estimation, or what they are overcommitting, and what should be your approach? Because this has been seen past continuous few sprint. So, what should be your approach as a Scrum Master? So here that can be answered in multiple way. So we have to think that when an interviewer is asking this scenario based question, so what he or she is expecting, whether, so you can ask back a question, okay, whether I have joined this team as a new Scrum Master, or I have seen these teams from a multiple sprint. So when you are a new Scrum Master, then your approach should be, you should go understand with the team where is lacking behind, all those retrospective, what was the uh, uh, definition of done, adaptation has been taken care, and what is the most improvement part has been applied, and where is the lacking. So why they are doing over commitment in the estimation? Is there a requirement that uh, there should be more transparency in a team, and they should be more vocal with the product owner, and the uh, splitting down of user story should be done, right? So that refinement activity, that grooming session should be done, and should be done in a proper way, so that they should look into the estimation again, and based on the capacity planning, based on the past velocity, they can project the future velocity, they can give the projected velocity, and in that way the estimation should be done. This is one of the approach. But if you are already a Scrum Master, and you have seen the team form a multiple sprint, then what should be your approach in this case? So you should inform them that you will go in this way, like you should tell that giving an answer in a hypothetical way, that is a assumption, but what exactly is the scenario? Is the Scrum team are following the retrospective, doing well, and these things are coming? Is there a frequent change in the scope? Is there uh, changing in the requirement frequently in every sprint? And what is the situation that has come up, that client is feeling that the Scrum team is not adhering the commitment what they are doing? So is based on the market strategy or research, the with the influence of a stakeholder to the product owner, and they are product owners collaborating with the team, and they are doing the changes on scope. So that can be one of the answer that you have to think. right? And you have to showcase your approach, that how you can give answer in this kind of scenario. Means one approach was that a new scrum master, this is the one that you are here as a experienced scrum master and dealing with the team. So when you are looking into the team for multiple strength, you know the background, that what exactly is happening. So rather than you say that from tomorrow you should not do the overcommitment and you should do like this blah blah blah, no, you should make your team realize how they can do things in a better way, make them work rather than doing the micromanagement. So your management should be that they should feel what could be the idea and how innovative they should think in a out of box, and they should apply that. So you have to enable an environment, that awareness, that team will look into that and they will resolve this and come up with the betterment and satisfy our customer as well. Now it can be also, this is one of the point, if I am answering then I can give, it can be have a multiple point of view. So you need to put that question. If scenario based question, you have to put a situation and you can give a answer that it can be happen like this, or this is the situation, this can be taken care in a this situation. Now your next approach can be, you need to tell that if this thing is happening, there might be dependency on the other team. You are working on that module and there are multiple teams are there, and you are feeling that commitment is not on a place, then there might be dependency on other team and the estimation has not done properly. So a product owner should look into that, and as a scrum master you should inform the team and ensure there should not be any dependency between the team. And you are looking into the definition of done, and you are doing estimation properly. So in refinement only, or whatever sprint is going on, so when you are going for a grooming session, you are looking into that properly, all the requirement, and you are doing your DOR, that in a proper way, that what all things is doable. And you should commit in a way that whatever you are committing, you should produce more than that. Your estimation should go on that. So it should not like that you are committing and giving less than your commitment. It should be you are committing what you are giving more than your commitment. So your DOR should be more in proper way, and your definition of done should be taken care in a more proper way when you are reducing the dependency between the team. So it can be this answer also. Okay, let's move to the next question. So what kind of challenges you are getting on day-to-day basis when you're working as a Scrum Master? There can be any situation you need to think in your way, and you should make a note, like on a daily basis what kind of situation or scenario is coming up, and then based on your experience you can actually provide your answer. Now the interviewer will also look like what is your approach when you are giving an answer, whether you are coming directly to the uh, conclusion, or jumping into some statement or answer, or you are analyzing the situation, how you are going to take a decision by analyzing, by raising a question, understanding the thing, asking back the question, and providing your approach, making the things done. So this can be any, and interviewer can try to understand what exactly, how you are going to react and how you are going to take a decision on that. So the day-to-day challenges can be any, and based on your experience you can definitely put in front of interviewer. If you will ask me or I have to give answer, I can say few of the point, like user story can often be poorly defined, and using the relative weightage, what we are going to do, we do a poor estimation, and that can actually hit, or can be one of the challenge and team is facing. Whatever estimation we are doing, it should be done in an unbiased uh, uh, consensus, and which is often found that uh, it should be a team where team can ask the question, understand the thing, and then only they go to the estimation. The relative estimation, the story point what they are choosing, it should be based on their sustainable pace, their previous past performance, their capacity, and it should be more accurate when they will go with the estimation as an individual in a team. So the scrum master must work hard to ensure that team does not overcommit within the sprint, and if it is that scrum team member that who will commit, uh, set up the product backlog item and deliver within the sprint and based on their collective capacity, so they will pull only those PBIs. There can be other challenges, that team, how team is vocal, whether they have that courage of any member is there where openness is not there, is there any conflict is happening, how organized they are, whether task has been broken down properly, whether there is they are doing frequent changes in their scope, or how they are adjusting on the story point. If someone is asking, is there any technical debt, which is very common challenge which we are getting in day to day basis, like technical debt, whether it is postponing or team is taking action, is the team is suffering time management, whether your daily scrum is happening appropriately in 15 minutes, or how frequent team is meeting with them, whether your events are positive or productive. So it's a scrum master who will take care on that. And in a current scenario when we are at COVID situation, so in agile distribution model, when team member are different location, so they are using the agile collaboration tool, and how everyone is joining the team, everybody is taking participation, they have that into work, and they are making a balance between their personal life as well as professional life. So you should also get in touch on that personal note to understand health wise, support wise, and then you should come up to ensure that your all professional objective is meeting, right? So there can be multiple challenges, and based on that should be the solution or mitigation plan, like that. Okay, next is, there is a scenario where you have a scrum team and they have completed the all the sprint backlog what they have committed in particular sprint, and they have reached to the sprint goal. Now, is there any possibility that there is 3 days has left to complete the sprint, so it can be finished prior? So what could be the possibility? So here the answer, no. The sprint, what the duration has been chooses, sprint will always complete on time what has been chosen, and it will complete after 3 days only. There will be no gap in any of the sprint. So if a scrum team has completed their work, they will pull the product backlog item from the product backlog, and they will start working on that. So this is the best step to go ahead then. So always remember, there can be any answer, there can be any situation, but you should think, when you listen to any question, you should think, give a pause, understand the scenario, understand the situation, and give the best approach. Okay, so thank you so much for your time, and we have discussed few questions here. I hope again in next session we will discuss on many more. So thank you so much and see you very soon. Bye bye till that.